Hey guys, King of Charmanders here. Today I'll be your judge, your jury, and your analyst. And this is my complete Black Diablos weapons and armor guide. Now how do we kill a Black Diablos? Well, take a look at my complete Diablos guide. The link to the video is in the description below. Thanks to y'all that like, subscribe, and review that video. Hopefully it really did help you out for the event and just helped you out taking out Diablos in general. The difference between the original and this one is that Black Diablos has the same attack moveset, but is far more aggressive and has more HP. I confirmed this myself by doing comparisons of the completion times between regular versus Black Diablos, and definitely Black Diablos can take way more, not way more, but it can take more damage. I'll make a complete Black Diablos guide when it's scheduled to come back. That way, if anyone's looking for a specific guide on Black Diablos itself, it'll be out there and y'all be able to watch it and use it if you need help. And now this is what Black Diablos drops. These are its materials after you take it out. These are the materials it will drop. Rarity 1, Black Diablos Fang. Rarity 1, Black Diablos Shell. Rarity 2, Black Diablos Tail Case. Rarity 3, Black Diablos Ridge. And Rarity 4, Black Diablos Prime Shell. And here's an important note. It usually requires 2 Rarity 2, 3, and or 4 materials to forge one piece. So it's worth using gems / carving knives to double up on drops if you happen to get one of these materials. If you reviewed my Black Diablos event videos, you noticed that I was just using gems like no tomorrow. Well, it's totally worth it. If I double up on my drops, that means I can go ahead and not worry about having to do it, or if I already have the materials and all I need is 1 Rarity 4 Black Diablos Prime Shell, for example, I double up on drops, bam, I have 2, and now I can craft 1 piece of Diablos equipment. And here are the Black Diablos weapons forge material requirements. Both weapons have the same forge requirements, so you need the same amount of materials to craft at least one of these weapons. And the weapons are going to be Galebender, which is the bow, and Chaos Shatter, which is the hammer. In order to craft these, you need 6 Black Diablos Fangs, which are Rarity 1, 2 Black Diablos Ridges, which are Rarity 3, 2 Black Diablos Prime Shells, which are Rarity 4, and 10 Monster Bones size medium, Rarity 2. And it also costs 1500 Zenny. And now we're going to cover the Black Diablos weapons, and here's the first one, which is the Galebender. It is a bow. It turns into the Sarah Coilbender at grade 6 with a base attack of 576, affinity minus 30%, and it is a non-elemental weapon. Its charge shot type is charge 1, piercing level 1. At charge 2, piercing level 1 as well. At charge 3, it's piercing level 4, and charge 4 is piercing level 4 as well. Its equipment skill, its unlocks at grade 8, is Part Breaker. This increases part damage accumulated on breakable parts by 5% or more, depending on the level. And now here's a note about affinity. So what is affinity? It is the critical hit of the Monster Hunter series. You have a chance of doing a percent of more or less 25% damage depending on your affinity percentage in the positive or negative. For example, Galebender and Chaos Shatter have minus 30 affinity. This means you have a 30% chance of doing 25% less damage. So let's do some math. At grade 5, 576 minus 25% would be 432. And at grade 10, this is where you notice a big drop off, 2218 minus 25% equals a base damage of 1663.5. So just something to take into note. Now the second Black Diablos weapon is the Chaos Shatter, which is a hammer. Hulk smash, right? No name or model change past grade 5, and it also has a base attack of 576, affinity minus 30%, and it is a non-elemental weapon as well. It also shares the same equipment skill, which unlocks at grade 8. Part Breaker, which again increases part damage accumulated on breakable parts by 5% or more depending on the level. Now here's the Black Diablos armor forge material requirements. All Black Diablos armor have the same material requirements to forge. Each piece needs 4 Black Diablos shells, which are Rarity 1, 2 Black Diablos ridges, which are Rarity 3, 2 Black Diablos prime shells, which are Rarity 4, and 7 Monster Bones size medium, Rarity 2, along with costing 1500 Zenny. Now let's get started with Black Diablos armor. Note, I will go over the equipment skills after reviewing the armor set since there are so many. First off, we got Diablos Narrow Helm. This is the head armor, and its base defense is at 82. Its equipment skills are Part Breaker, which adds +2 because it's level 2, and Resentment, which adds a +1 because it's level 1, and this unlocks at grade 6. And now we're going to move on to the Diablos Nero Mail, which is a chest armor. Its base defense is 82, and its equipment skills are Resentment, which is +2 because it's level 2, and Firm Foothold +1 at level 1, and this unlocks at grade 6. For the Black Diablos arms armor, we have the Diablos Narrow Braces. It has a base defense 82, and its equipment skills are Resentment +1 as it's level 1, Focus +1 as it's level 1, and this unlocks at grade 6. And now we move on to the Diablos Narrow Coil, which is a waist armor. It has a base defense of 82, and its equipment skills are Lock On at +1 as it's level 1, and you can't go any higher than that. Lock On maxes out at 1 level. And Heroics, +1 at level 1, and this unlocks at grade 6. Now here's a cool note about this waist armor. It is the only waist armor in the game so far that has Lock On. So you can use this armor piece if you're a melee user and use the other slots for good equipment skills. Lock On is really valuable, but you might not want it in other specific slots. For the waist armor, you can use it on the Black Diablos armor, and it's really useful. So definitely something to consider if you're looking to craft your first piece of Black Diablos armor. And last but not least, we have the last piece of the Black Diablos armor, which is the Diablos Narrow Greaves, which is leg armor. It has a base defense of 82, and its equipment skills are Heroics, which is a +1 because it's level 1, and Offensive Guard, which is a +1 because it's level 1 as well. However, this unlocks at grade 6. Now here's a good note. This armor piece is great for a Sword and Shield Guard build, but the problem is Offensive Guard only unlocks at grade 6. So you're gonna have to invest a little bit before you actually make this thing really useful. Again, great for Sword and Shield Guard build, for sure. And now here's the Black Diablos armor equipment skill list, a complete list. Again, you have Part Breaker. I have said that like 3 times, so I'm not gonna go over it again. Resentment, when taking damage, attack power increases by 10% or more depending on level for 15 seconds. Firm Foothold, which reduces knockback distance when taking damage depending on level. Focus shortens charging time for weapons with charge attacks by 5% or more, and fill rate of Spirit Gauge by 5% or more depending on the level. Lock On. This displays a lock on button while using a close range weapon, allowing you to lock on to specific body parts. Heroics. Increases attack power by 10% or more when your health drops below 29% or lower. And Offensive Guard, which increases attack power by 10% or more for 10 seconds after executing a well-timed guard. Now here's my review on the Black Diablos weapons. The weapons have a higher base damage than the original versions, but minus 30% affinity is meh. To put it bluntly, like on Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, it was minus 25%. I don't know why you added 5% more to this. But I think I found an extra secret about the Black Diablos weapons in Monster Hunter Now. Why would you make them this hard to get? I mean, yeah, they were hard in the main Monster Hunter series games, but it's crazier in Monster Hunter Now. If you watched my video on my Day 1 and Day 2 Diablos events, I went ham trying to kill Black Diablos. But I tested something today and I was like, I haven't seen anybody publish video about this. Like, am I the only one that made a Black Diablos bow video but noticed this? And there's a separate video about this secret coming soon. And here's my review on the Black Diablos armor. Black Diablos armor has the same base defense as regular Diablos armor, and all of the armor pieces have great equipment skills that stand out. Here are some examples. The head armor gives you 2 levels of Part Breaker, the chest armor gives you 2 levels of Resentment, the arms armor has focus level 1 for charge and /spirit gauge users, waist armor has lock on, and the leg armor has offensive guard for sword and shield users. So each specific piece of equipment is useful in its own different way. Now don't worry, Black Diablos is eventually going to come back, so if you couldn't craft a piece of armor or 2, the weapon you really wanted, don't worry, it's going to come back, and hopefully this time you and your group will be able to take it out if you couldn't last time. I play solo sadly, so I couldn't convince any of my Pokemon Go friends to actually play Monster Hunter Now to save my life. I played a lot of the Monster Hunter games, 1, 2, 3 Ultimate, as well as World and Rise, and I've always been a long fan of the Monster Hunter series. Unfortunately, my friends are not, so I just don't have a lot of friends that play it on a daily. They know about the franchise, but they haven't played a lot of the Monster Hunter Now games, and of course Monster Hunter games, and of course Pokemon Go has their soul. Well, not their soul, but they just like playing Pokemon more, which is nothing wrong with that. Look out for my Black Diablos weapons video on Galebender and Chaos Shatter coming soon. Again, there's a secret on that, and I hope this guide helped you out. And if it did, Please like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. I work really hard to make sure these videos are really high quality for y'all, and I will see y'all on the next one.